Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're doing like a user-submitted game of a couple pros. So this was submitted by Z11, a regular guy in the chat. He's actually tipped me off some good stuff in the past. And what he said about this game, this is going to be light going up against Queen. Obviously, I would already cast a game like that. It's on Polypoid. And he mentioned that he thinks that this could be like a new meta type of thing that's evolving right now, and that he's seen whatever is going to be done here, he's seen within the pro leagues that they play amongst each other on their streams. So, yeah, I have no idea really what to expect. But yeah, big thanks to Z11 for sending this in and kind of guiding me in that way. So, excited to see what this is. That might be a little development. Z11 seems to really keep track of what's going on and watches a lot of StarCraft, so yeah, very appreciated. Thank you much, man. All right, so here we go. Polypoid. Queen is obviously one of the very best players in the world. I think even up to a couple seasons ago, I was kind of like, yeah, he could win another ASL at this point. Yeah, and at that, he lost to Best, if you recall. Like, I was calling Queen as one of the stronger players. And he lost to Best 2-3, I think it was, like 3 seasons ago now, in the round of 8, and it was a really close match. Very good match. Or maybe it was 4-3. I can't even remember now what it was. They keep changing the number of games played. But anyways, I think Queen is still looking really good at the moment. Light, of course, always one of the best performing Terran players, and definitely one of the very strongest Terran versus Zerg players. Like, just mechanically, it's hard to beat this guy. I think only Flash and JYJ can really macro on his level. So yeah, let's see how this goes down. Polypoid is like a pretty standard map, still on the ladder, not really being used in tournaments that much anymore. Honestly, I think it's pretty much time for Polypoid to go. I feel like there's been just a very light evolution of what's going on the map, but in general, this like third base rised area, which by the way is only buildable to about that range, kind of takes some of the health out of some of the matchups. It's just so, like, for instance, okay, you'd think that this is a huge advantage in Terran versus Protoss against Protoss, but actually Protos's attack on this map more often than others because this area is so thin and you can't build any structures down here. Whereas the normal defense that we have now is really a spread out defense against early on Protoss attacks. So like it gets pretty hard there. And then also just having that high ground, like I think it's mostly TVP that's affected, but this kind of wrecks Terran versus Terran sometimes. If someone gets a vulture advantage up there, it's almost impossible to end up winning. And you can't really do any pressure, like 2-factory pressures against Protoss on this map in particular, because the Dragoons on the high ground there are too strong. And if you try to sneak in this way, it's like you have to keep right against this wall, which means that you can't pull tanks back. So yeah, this map, I feel like it's time for it to go. Anyways, let's take a look at this map, or rather at this game and what's going on. So it's a command center pretty quickly, an okay wall, second rack. So it's a 2 racks academy build. Nothing weird here. Looks pretty normal. Looking over at Queen's side, yeah, looks like normal 2 hatchery layers so far. Zergling speed on the way. Okay, so just very standard openers at the moment. I don't know which side is going to be what Z11 describes as possibly a new meta type of thing evolving. It could be something very small, could be something very big. There's so many things you can do off of a 2 racks academy rush. Now, the academy's about to finish. He was a little bit low on that marine production and goes, yeah, medic firebat. Well, I'll just watch, but I'm like, okay, so like one of the things happening right now is people move out with a smaller group of Marines and 1 medic to force 1 to 2 Sunkens and leave a firebat behind in the choke. That has been evolving right now. That's the more standard move out. It looks like he wants to bring the firebat, but actually everyone just runs around with the Zerglings if you do this. What are you doing, Queen? Just run around. It's very simple. See? This is like, you're almost always behind as Terran when this happens. Oh, he actually leaves immediately? I'm a little bit surprised. I think he should have run up the ramp. There was a lot of potential there. And it does force that one sunken. I feel like here, if you're going to do the run by, you probably want to make 2. But the one sunken does turn him around. Hey, if it turns him around, then that's exactly what you should have done. Okay, 3 mutas on the way. So, I mean, a little tit for tat. I do think that Queen should have run up the ramp there. But that's okay. We have range and +1 marine attack on the way. +1 muta attack on the way over here. There's that 3rd hatchery down in the bottom left natural. So that's going to be pretty good. And yeah, everything looking pretty standard so far. He had an SCV down here. I think he was going to add a 3rd Rax, but he actually ends up not adding a 3rd Rax. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And yeah, you have to make a few more turrets if you're going to go a little bit skimpier as far as the numbers go on barracks. It's much more common to go 3 racks right now. But what this probably... Yeah, and look at this. The Lings run by. Oh, gosh. This is actually quite good for Queen right now, I think. But does Queen actually have enough over here? He just has the 1 sunken still, so he's going to have to actually micro really, really well. Ends up cleaning up most of those Lings. Looks like there is 1 left. Good positioning on this 1 Marine to kind of slow it down. And yeah, we have this micro battle going on. Range is done for these Marines, so they're going to actually do a reasonable job against the mutas, but I don't think they can do the full push. They can't break a sunken and mutas now. So Queen has done enough there to push him back. And there's the factory. Now, here's the thing. This game so far, like, because of Light's move-outs and the Zerglin counterattacks, this factory is not that quick. Normally, if you go 2 racks only... before the Mutalisks, the factory gets up around 6 minutes, and that's not the case here. Factories take 50 seconds, so, like, he built this at kind of a normal 3 racks timing. And again, this is... I would attribute this just to the Zerglings running in and, like, not really having the defense for that. Now, 3rd gas coming up here. Pretty heavy on the Mutalisk production. More depots. Okay, more missile turrets. Yeah, you have to really be consistently making missile turrets when you're on 2 racks because you can't actually move out. This is about as far as you can get because you have to be near your missile turrets for that extra defense. Okay, so factory done. Starport starts. Double starport. Okay, this is getting a little bit interesting. Now, the mutas actually kind of microing around and doing some good damage on these turrets and end up killing the turrets for the most part. Now, this is a very dangerous moment. If he goes back in right away with a full group, like, he might be able to kill all these Marines. +1 is almost done, which is going to help a lot. Light right now remaking a lot of these missile turrets. Armory is coming up. Okay, we're starting to actually see kind of the flavor of what Light is up to. But he's got to get these missile turrets up. It's so incredibly important right now, and the mutas are doing such good work. Now, this is... I've seen this in the past occasionally. This is like kind of a rare move, guys, is to see... like, it's obviously a very quick 2 starport Valkyrie rush. There's the +1 armor. That's not weird when you go Valkyrie. That's pretty normal because you don't have the science facility for +2 attack. But this could turn into a mech switch still. There is a possibility. He's getting a 2nd gas. We'll see if the factory starts floating somewhere. If he just kind of leaves the factory, then it'll probably stay on bio. But Valkyrie builds with bio turn pretty all in pretty quickly. Let's take a look over at Queen's base. So there's the Hive. He has +1 carapace. Hydra's popping out for that lurker tech. So everything looking, again, pretty standard for Queen. It's over on Light's side that we see the more kind of like, ooh, what is this? Okay, the factory's moving. Ooh, is he going to go add-on? Like, he must be. He must be getting an add-on here. And he'll probably go into speed if he does, but we'll see about that in a moment. So, pretty heavy anti-mutalisk here. Okay, science facility started. Oh! Okay, well... I actually have so much that I could say right now about this. So we still don't know exactly what this will be. I am starting to get some light chills going on, right? So, like, mutas are an issue right now. A lot of Terrans are having a hard time, you know, battling for even map dominance. And with 2 Valkyries, soon to be 4, you can really, really push away those mutas super well. The Bioforce is super small. Okay, and there's the add-on. Wait, what? 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 Ghosts? I have the most insane chills right now. We're literally going to see a nuke rush, guys. Now, Zlevin said that he saw this in Pro League sometimes. Now, he's getting Cloak. He's getting 2 dropships. I want you guys to know that I've actually mentioned this. I do think Nuke Rush has a place in this game, specifically against Zerg, specifically against Crazy Zerg with Mass Sunken. Okay, Nada almost killed Larva with it many seasons of ASL ago. I've actually utilized it a lot on the ladder to some pretty decent success. And I remember way back in the day, like 2007 or so, I was trying out nukes against Lurker Defiler because I just couldn't break it. So I was trying some nuke rushes, but obviously back then, like, the game was much less evolved than it is now. So maybe this is an idea that the Proterrans are visiting once again. I'm very excited about this, though. So here's the nuke silo. Wait, he brings a ghost into it? What? I'm very excited, guys, to see what this is going to look like. So, couple hatcheries come up. Just macro hatcheries. You can see he's very anti-drop at the moment, which this is, like, very normal to see something like this. This is actually his weakest point here. Is you can just drop here and kill the Nidus, which should allow him to kill the base. So, I don't like this Nidus placement. I think it should have been up here. This is, like, something I would look for as a Terran player to try to get some damage. But, look, this is normal. Like, he's going super anti-drop because it's a Valkyrie opener, and Valkyrie openers generally go to this, to something like this, like a mass dropship type of play. All right, he brings in the Valks. Lurkers come up for some defense. Is he going to try to nuke this from high ground or something? That would be wild. So the Valkyries are protecting against mutas at the moment. He's trying to clear out this area. Okay, he's going to get another Lurker. Clearing out Overlords. Very good. Nuke is on the way. Nuke is literally on the way right now. That is too many. There's the ghost hidden. That is too many Lurkers. By the way, for additional nuke range, you actually need the optical implant upgrade. I would imagine that Light knows that. I didn't see him get it. Maybe he got it and I wasn't paying attention, but I don't think so. It's a very long upgrade. It's actually more important than Cloak, in my opinion. But he cleared Overlords, actually, with the Valkyries, so holy shit. This is actually happening. This is actually happening right now. Light is actually nuking Queen. So Queen is just getting out of the area. Okay, so normally it isn't Cloak that helps, but I guess with the Valkyries it makes sense. Oh, shit. How did that not hit those? How did that literally deal damage here but not there? I'm so confused. The nuclear... What? I've never seen this interaction where the nuke misses the Lurkers. I'm very confused about that. Huh. What? We'll go back and look at that at the end, because that was definitely in nuke range. I don't understand. Anyways, we have a counterattack here from Queen. An additional nuke silo going up, so he is actually going pretty heavy into the nukes. No additional upgrades, so it does look like it's going to be a mech switch. Yeah, some more factories are being added. So it's like nuclear plus mech. Very, very weird. I hope that we see a secondary nuke this game. He is getting that nuke upgrade. Lots of mines being laid. Man, he didn't even kill the Nidus with it. Nukes are 8 supply, by the way. Jeez Louise. So I think we're going to see a secondary nuke now. He's got like just enough to get this off. Okay, so he's nuking. Hopefully this hits and we get to actually see. This is insane that we're seeing multiple nukes, by the way. God, I hope nukes become part of the meta. It's so much fun. Here comes the nuke. Okay, it killed those two. Why did those two not get affected before? They were not outside of the AoE of the nuke. I'm very confused. If anyone knows the answer to that, let me know. Nukes are the least utilized thing in the game. So there could be funny little rules that we actually don't quite understand about them. And like I've mentioned, like I use nukes probably more than most people, but I only utilize them against like sunken colony masses with crazy Zerg. So there's like never a lurker around when I use a nuke. I don't know. Anyways, that was very, very cool to see. Oh my God. I'm like, my brain is just racing. I can't even commentate this game anymore. So Light has destroyed a base with nukes. There is a new base. Light has 4 bases though. Lots of vultures being made. And still nukes being made as well. Now, if this actually becomes something that's real, by the way, there's so much testing that has to occur. There's so much because Terran has to start figuring out what works, and then Zerg will start figuring out how to counter it. And we'll have to go back and forth like that so much. Like an insane amount. Okay, we just heard another nuke. Holy shit. Oh, it was in sunken range. And this one's just shooting. Okay. Just crazy. I'm like blown away. I am blown away right now. But like when you start thinking about the theory behind what's going on here, these very turtled positions, the idea, like that's what a nuke's supposed to be, right? Is to break turtled positions. The thing that I find really, and there he's finally getting ocular implants. Why do I know the name of that? I never know the name of upgrades. Anyways, what is really, really novel here, I think, compared to the only other time that we've really seen nukes, like normally it's about keeping the ghosts as far enough away so you can protect it. It was protected via cloak this game because the Valkyries cleared out the overlords. And specifically, I think it could only be utilized against one of these. Like, if this had been his additional base, there's no juicy nuke you can get, I don't think. But here, there is a juicy nuke, because everything's right next to each other. Okay, so right now, Light is at 160, and Queen is at, like, 135. Now, I've actually had this thought in my head for a bit, that against non-mech builds, the win condition for Zerg is 140 supply, approximately. So, like, basically, Zerg against Bio. Once they hit about 140, that can take out the max Terran army pretty easily. Now, this is against mech, so it's definitely going to be a little bit different, but he doesn't have great defense here against this drop. Like, definitely some big damage could occur. Continuing to push in, still utilizing this Bioforce. And still not really into heavy tanks. Like, he has started some tank production, but this is mostly him just running around trying to nuke stuff. Dude, he's actually nuking so much. And it's not like Queen is clowning here. D-Matrix, love to see it. 2D Matrix, love to see it twice as much. Holy shit. Dude. Oh my God, he's literally killing everything with nukes. Now, I mean, oops, flew the overlords in, just lost them. GG. Okay, where do I even begin? So the theory behind nukes breaking some of these areas is very, very fascinating. Okay? Like I mentioned, Nada had a nuke build against Larva in an early season of ASL, maybe 5 or 6, and he was seconds from winning that game. The nuke barely didn't land, and that was Nada's mistake. There was like 2 different ways he could have saved the ghost. One is floating a science vessel over there. There's like a D-matrix. So like Nada came very close to killing Larva with nukes. Like I've mentioned, I've utilized nukes on the ladder, and against specifically the same thing Nada was using against. This here, like to utilize the nukes during a mech switch where the bio is kind of like keeping the ghosts there and you're dropping nukes, and the Valkyries initially killed off all the overlords so that the cloak would work. It's truly fascinating stuff. Now, one of the reasons why I kind of put away the idea of nukes versus like Dark Swarm Lurker is because if they just throw a Dark Swarm up and then run their Lurkers up, they should be able to get the ghost out of there, right? That's kind of the thing where I'm like, I don't see how you're supposed to play against that. They just need the Dark Swarm that's already over protecting the Lurkers, and then they cast the second one, run up, burrow the Lurkers, kill the ghost. Just target it down. So that's why I gave up on the overall strat, as well as just not being good enough to pull it off. And that was in 2007 that I was trying that. Now, Light here going Valkyrie, killing off overlords, and then just utilizing cloak for it. If you look at the amount of time it takes to make an overlord and the amount of time it takes to drop the nuke, actually that makes some sense. Again, if he had expanded up here, the nuke doesn't have value because the lurkers are here. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you could nuke here, but he just runs the drones and it doesn't kill the hatchery. I think part of what the nuke is supposed to do is get the Nidus, get the lurkers. I don't know why the lurkers took no damage. That literally makes no sense to me. They were close enough. So very weird there. But then the other lurkers died. So maybe it's something having to do with like burrow plus edge of splash range. What I think it actually might have been, by the way, is... So, you know why splash damage like a siege tank misses under Dark Swarm, right? So it's the tank shot misses and the splash just doesn't hit the lurker that's burrowed. So maybe the nuke is actually classified in a similar way where like because the lurker was on the very edge of it or towards the edge of it and it was burrowed, it missed or something like that. I don't know about that. Now, is this something that's going to be real? I have no idea. Is this something that I'm unbelievably happy is being explored? Yes, it is. I think if this... Here's just a couple more thoughts. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of rambling, but this is too exciting. If this starts to become something real, few things. If Terrans just start getting good at this base won't be taken as a third anymore. It'll be main bases again. Does that mean you can hit the natural? Maybe. Maybe. Wow. Maybe you'd need something like a quicker spore. I don't know. It's all fascinating. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks to His11 for pointing this game out. I will definitely keep my eyes open for this and let you guys know if this continues to develop, continues to be used. I will do some diligence on it ASAP. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.